Literally the best tool you have for classroom management, the best tool you have to instill discipline in a particular student is parental support. And over the last 28 years, I've learned a couple of tips to help you out with this, best practices, let's say. It ultimately comes down to one thing, which is making sure the parents know that we're on the same side as they are, that ultimately we both want what's best for the students, and that our goal is to work together as a team and highlight team to get that individual moving in the right direction. Often it's too late when you are reaching out to a parent when a student has been put on a discipline referral, because now the parent is going to get defensive. The student is going to share their side of the story. The best thing to do is get ahead of it and build that relationship before it gets to a discipline referral. And here's three tips for you. First of all, positive phone calls home. I love using positive phone calls home. True story. You may have heard this on other videos, but I had a student one time where I would pick three students every Friday, and I would call and talk to their parents about what they've done correctly in the classroom, especially those students that you suspect at some point you're going to have to make a phone call home. Those are the ones you want to get ahead of. Find any reason you can to call and be positive before you have to make that negative phone call. And literally, I could hear the parent yelling at him, "That's the one teacher who actually liked you." And that's powerful, which is if you can establish that you're a team working together, that's very, very powerful for uh, discipline and motivation. Number two, if things are beginning to happen, call the parent before you have to put the student on discipline referral and see if you can get ahead of it. Say, hey, these are some behaviors I'm beginning to see. What can you do at home to correct the behavior so it doesn't transfer into school? We're on the same page here, and I always tell the parents that. We're on the same team. You and I are working together because I want your student to be successful. Um, and again, I will reference that several times during the phone call. And then number three, when something does happen, I've had this happen. The reason I'm making this video is I had this happen the other day. I literally had a student who was insubordinate, said he wasn't going to do any work, gave me some excuses to why he wasn't going to do any work. So what did I do? I didn't box him in front of the class. I let him take a zero for the day. It wasn't worth the aggravation and to destroy the relationship with the student. But I called home and I spoke with mom and I said, look, we're on the same team. This is what I'm seeing in class. I'm going to have to put him on a discipline referral if we can't correct this behavior. And I suspect it will get corrected over the weekend. So, and I've had that where I try not to box students in unless it's something that demands an immediate referral. I will generally wait till the student leaves the classroom and then I will call the parent and say, look, if this continues, I'm going to have to put your student on referral. Let's not have that happen. I don't want it on his or her permanent record. So let's get ahead of it. What can we do to strategize so that this stops in the classroom? And that's powerful. That's how you get parents on your side. You explain to them that you and I are on the same side. We want what's best for the student. And at some point, I may have to document something, but before we get to that, what can you do on your end so that I don't have to? And quite frequently, parents will thank you for that phone call and they'll tell you what's going on. A lot of times, you'll get a legitimate reason as to why the student's acting out. A couple of years ago, I had a student who was very insubordinate, and the father told me we're going through a divorce, and it's obviously impacting the student. So obviously the uh, behavior needs to be corrected, but at least I had a handle on what was going on, and the parent did correct it. So ultimately, also parent night. I've got parent night coming out or coming up. I'm going to sit down and shake hands with every parent, introduce myself, build those relationships. And I'm going to tell them at parent night, we're on the same team. We want what's best for your student. So build that relationship with the parent. Try to be proactive so that when you do have to put a student on referral, you get that backing at home, and you find that it will work a lot. It's not 100%, but it definitely will help prevent having to write multiple discipline referrals on a lot of students. You guys are heroes. Have a great school year. Talk to you soon.